Am I the a-hole for expressing my opinion about a friend's husband? I 32F, had a friend that I'd been best friends with since we were 13. In our early 20s, this friend, we'll call her L, decided that they wanted to move overseas for a year to experience working in a new country. I was sad, but tried to be supportive as I knew this was what they wanted. About 12 months in, she met her future husband, we'll call him D. They moved to another country together and settled down with what seemed to be some sense of stability. I'd been missing her and so asked if she was up for a visit. She said yes. We discussed dates and I booked my flights. When I arrived though, it became apparent that her then boyfriend, future husband, D, had no interest in spending any time getting to know me. Fast forwards a couple of years and L reaches out to tell me that they're both moving back to our home country. I'm excited, happy to have her home and hopeful that D and I can try to build a friendship. They threw a welcome home party for themselves, which actually turned out to be an engagement party. Talking to L's family, who I had been quite close to, I found out D had asked for her entire family's permission to marry her, and as a joke, I made a comment along the lines of, "Hey, nobody asked me for my permission," to D. Everyone had laughed. I'd meant it as a joke and thought it had been taken that way. It was apparent that something was wrong though afterwards, as every time I invited L and D to an event or party, they would make excuses not to come or only L would come. I finally asked about this and L told me I'd made D uncomfortable with my comment at the engagement party and that he didn't want to hang out with me. I felt bad and reached out to apologize and clear the air. At the time, he accepted my apology but still never came to anything I invited them to. However, for L's sake I continued to put effort into trying to build a friendship. Cue my 30th birthday where they were both invited. L turned up with her family but D did not come. About an hour into being there, L told me they had to leave soon as they had another event to get to, and I was admittedly hurt by this, because this birthday was a big deal to me and they had known that. Now admittedly, I had been drinking a lot so I don't actually remember making the comment I did, but later, after L stopped talking to me and I reached out to find out why, they told me I'd made a comment about D and they didn't appreciate it, so they cut off contact with me with no explanation. The comment in question was essentially, "I don't understand what you see in him, but if he makes you happy I'll support you." I apologized for upsetting them and didn't deny that I'd probably made that comment because honestly, that's how I'd felt about him for a while, as I had been hurt that it felt like I was the only one putting any effort into both friendships for years and that I had gone out of my way to try and be welcoming and supportive only to be rebuffed at every turn. So, am I the a-hole?